Hi, Brinkley. Hi, Jagger, and anybody else who has decided to join us for these fun stories. I'm going to be reading chapter 3, 4, and 5 of The Magic Tree House. This is Night of the Ninjas. So if you remember, there's a tree house that's magic. Jack and Annie find the tree house in the forest by their house, and it takes them to magical places. And there is a wizard. Can't remember the wizard's name right now, but I'll remember it. And the wizard is in trouble. And, Morgan Le Fay, I believe, is the wizard. And there's no Morgan in the treehouse, but there's a glowing M with a cute little mouse by it. And for some reason, they decide to name the mouse Peanut. And they find a book glowing. And if you recall, when they open a book, they go into wherever that book takes place. All right, so chapter 3. Jack opened his eyes. Annie was already looking out the window. The mouse peeked out of her pouch. Jack looked out the window too. The air was fresh and cool. The treehouse was in a tree with white flowers. The tree was in a grove of trees on the side of a mountain. Nearby, a wild stream rushed downhill. Two ninjas were standing on rocks near the water. They were staring at the valley below. One ninja was tall, the other was short. They wore black pants and shirts. They had black scarves around their heads and swords strapped to their backs. It was exactly like the picture in the book. Remember, the book had a picture of that? Jack crouched below the window. "Be careful," he whispered. "Don't let them see you." "Why not?" Annie whispered back. "They might think we're some kind of enemies," said Jack quietly. Annie crouched beside him. Jack pushed his glasses into place. Now he was going to look at the ninja book. He picked up the book. He turned to the beginning. He read, "Very little is known about the shadowy warriors called ninjas. Historians believe that ninjas lived in Japan between the 14th and 17th centuries. Both men and women were ninjas. Sometimes they fought to protect their families. Sometimes warlords hired them as spies." "Wow," whispered Jack. "We're in Japan, hundreds of years ago." Jack opened his backpack. He pulled out his notebook and pencil. He liked to take notes. He wrote, "Ninjas were warriors in old Japan." "Jack," whispered Annie, "they're looking up. I think they know we're here." Jack peeked over the windowsill. His eyes met the dark eyes of the tall ninja. "Hey!" the ninja cried. He dashed toward the tree. The other ninja followed. "Oh no," Annie said. "We've got to go," Jack said. "Where's the Pennsylvania book?" He and Annie looked around wildly. But where was the book about Pennsylvania? It had the picture of the Frog Creek woods in it. Jack and Annie couldn't get home without it. "It's not anywhere," cried Annie. "We've got to do something fast," said Jack. "Pull up the ladder." Now, if you remember, they're still in the treehouse. The treehouse just went to Japan 200 years ago. Jack and Annie grabbed the top of the rope ladder and they pulled the ladder up the treehouse. But the tall ninja leaped at the tree trunk. Then he started climbing up the tree. The short ninja followed. They climbed just like cats. Jack and Annie huddled in a corner. The ninjas climbed into the treehouse. Neither one made a sound. Now, here's a picture. Here's the treehouse, you can see, and the tree, and there's the ninjas right there. They're climbing up the treehouse where Jack and Annie are. Chapter 4, Captured. The ninjas pulled iron bands off of their hands. The bands had spike-like claws on them. "That's how they climbed the tree," Annie whispered to Jack. The ninjas stared at Jack and Annie with dark, piercing eyes. The rest of their faces were covered by scarves. Jack felt frozen under their stares. Annie wasn't frozen, though. She stepped right up to them. "Hi," she said. The ninjas didn't say hi back. They didn't move at all. They were as still as Jack. "We're trying to help our friend Morgan," said Annie. She held up Morgan's note. The tall ninja took the note from her. He looked at it. Then he gave it to the short ninja. The two ninjas stared at each other. Then they looked back at Jack and Annie. Finally, the short ninja nodded once. He put the note into the pocket of his shirt. "You can help us?" Annie asked. Neither ninja spoke. Jack wished he could see their faces. He couldn't tell what they were thinking. The short ninja tossed the rope ladder back out of the treehouse. The tall one pointed down the ladder. Then he pointed at Jack and Annie. Uh-oh, thought Jack. We're being captured. Us go with you, said Annie. The ninja nodded. Oh boy, said Annie. Oh boy, is she nuts, wondered Jack. The short ninja darted down the ladder. He went hand over hand. His feet didn't touch the rungs of the ladder. The tall one did the same. Jack gasped. The ninjas moved very fast. They were like spiders dropping from webs. Wow, said Annie. Now's our chance to leave, said Jack. Quick! He looked around the treehouse again. Where was that Pennsylvania book? Let's go with them, Jack, said Annie. No, this isn't a game, Jack said. But I think they know something about Morgan. She started down the ladder. Come back, said Jack. But it was too late. Jack sighed. Why does this always happen? He asked himself. Come on, Jack, came Annie's voice from below. Jack put his notebook and the ninja book into his pack. He pushed his glasses onto place, and he started down the ladder. Jack joined Annie and the ninjas on the ground. The sun had fallen behind the hills. The sky was streaked with red and gold. The mouse peeked out of Annie's sweatshirt pocket. Don't be scared, Peanut, Annie whispered. We'll take care of you. Great, thought Jack, but who's going to take care of us? The short ninja held Jack's arm in one hand and Annie's arm in the other. He led them through twilight. The tall ninja walked behind them. Where are we going? Jack asked. The ninjas stopped near the rushing water of the wide stream. The water roared as it raced downhill. The short ninja looked at Jack and Annie. He let go of their arms. Then he pushed them toward the stream. You want us to cross it? Shouted Annie. The ninja nodded. I'm just going to show you what the cover of this looks like. Just to remind you what ninjas and the children look like. Let's run back to the treehouse, said Jack. No, we have to follow them, said Annie, for Morgan's sake. Jack took a deep breath. She was right. Annie grabbed Jack's hand. Together they stepped into the water. Yikes, they both screamed and jumped out. It was the coldest water Jack had ever felt. It was colder than ice. It was so cold it felt like fire. I can't go back in, said Annie, shivering. Me neither, said Jack. I'll have a heart attack. The ninjas looked at Jack and Annie. Then they turned around and came back. The tall ninja grabbed Jack. Help, cried Jack. But the ninja lifted Jack high into the air and put him on his shoulder. See, there's the ninja's face. And there's Jack. Oh no, Jack's back here and Annie's up here. They're going through the water, keeping them from the cold water. The short ninja put Annie on his shoulder. Then the two ninjas stepped into the stream again. The icy wild water swirled around them. It went up to the short ninja's waist, but the ninjas moved through the stream as calmly as two sailing ships. Well, it sounds like they're helping them, which is good. Flames in the mist. I think we will continue that one in a day or two, okay? I hope you're enjoying this. Again, it is the Night of the Ninjas, Jack and Annie and the ninja. Okay? All right, I'm going to have another story for you in another video pretty quick. Bye.